Welcome back to the ticket setup series. In today's session, we're going to focus in on how the end user can self-service within Tikit Virtual Agent. So up to this point in the previous setup session videos, you've seen Adele here as an end user send a message over to Diego, letting him know that her computer is running slow. Diego received that message, turned that message into a ticket, and they chatted back and forth across Tikit to resolve that respective ticket. And that's a very popular feature of ours, but we also have the ability for the end user to fully self-service inside of Tikit Virtual Agent, allowing them to create new tickets, allowing them to create different business processes or initiate them, like software requests or new hire processes, access knowledge articles, things of that nature. And we're going to focus in on that in today's session. So Adele here within Tikit Virtual Agent at any point can self-service. And when she does, there's effectively two paths that she can take. The first path is interacting with a help menu. And the second path is driven by conversation and our Tikit AI engine. We're going to show both paths, but we're going to focus in on path one first, and then we'll go to path two. So at any point in Tikit Virtual Agent, Adele here can type the word help, and she can bring back a help menu. Now, this help menu is a visual menu that you're going to build. You may call it a menu, you may call it a service catalog, but the idea here is that you're going to present the options to your end users for them to interact with you in the business and your departments in the business. Now, this is out of the box. You can configure this to whatever you want. There's a whole video on how to configure this in depth further along in the setup series. Once you see how to configure it, you're going to see how simple it is, and you can change this very quickly to however you want this to look for your end users. But out of the box, there's some options that I want to highlight so you can understand what this is capable of. So if I wanted just to present a button for my end users to create a new ticket, I can do that. This will let them create a new ticket. Now, what you're going to see here is the new ticket form, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this out. The request is my printer is broken, category is hardware. If I had an attachment, I can add it. Now, before I submit this, I want to highlight something. This new ticket form here can be configured to whatever you want. So as an example, if you want to add priority as an option for the end user, you can. If you want to add on behalf of for the end users, you can. There's a whole setup video on how to configure this default request your new ticket form if you want to learn how to do that. I'll go to submit this out now. And once I submit this new ticket, this is going to show a very similar experience to what you saw in the previous setup video. So Adele here is going to be notified that a ticket was created. So ticket number 70 was created. And on the right-hand side here, Diego, as an agent, is going to receive a notification in the ticket app letting him know ticket 70 was created, and he can go work on that if he wants to. Now, there are other options on the help menu that I want to highlight. You can let an end user create a new ticket. You can also present different forms for the end users to initiate different business processes. So as an example, here is the software request form that we have out of the box. It gives the options to select software, the reason, the installation date. Another example we have out of the box is a new hire form, which lets a user fill out the first name, the last name, the department for this new hire. The thing I want you to take away from this is that you can present any form to your end users, and those can initiate any type of business process. There's also a couple other things I want to highlight on this help menu. You at any point can put a knowledge article on the help menu. We have a Wi-Fi example here. So what is a Wi-Fi password? And now I'll bring back the Wi-Fi info. We also have a link to let the end user quickly see all their open tickets. They can click on any of those to bring back a respective ticket. And last option here is putting URLs on top of the help menu. So this particular URL is going to take you to the end user web portal, which is a place where the end users can see all their open tickets, all their open approvals. There's a whole video on how this works in depth, so I recommend you go watch that if you're interested in the end user experience in the web. But what we've seen other customers do is put other internal resources as URLs on this help menu. Maybe an IT intranet site or an HR intranet site or a payroll site or HR site. And they can use this as a landing page to jump off into these other web resources. Now, these words are just words as well. And again, the idea here is that you're going to build a help menu that your end users can visualize the different options they have and initiate different types of things off of the help menu. So this is path one. Path two is driven off of conversation. So at any point, Adele can have a conversation with Tikit Virtual Agent. And I'm going to show you some examples here. So if I were to say new ticket as an example, this will let me create a new ticket. If I were to say I need software, this would bring back the software request form. Now what's happening here is we're interpreting the intention of the request. We're passing it through our AI engine and we're providing an appropriate response. Now, another example might be, I need the Wi-Fi password. And every single time we bring back a response, you're going to notice that there's an out on the actual response. So in this particular example, you're seeing we're asking, was this answer helpful, yes or no? If the end user were to say no, we'll let them continue to travel and create the ticket. Maybe they searched a few times and they're not getting the right knowledge article and they just need to create a ticket. However, if they were to say yes, we are going to tell them, awesome, glad that helped. We're going to imply to them that a ticket wasn't created. You're not going to see it light up on Diego's side, but the ticket was created. It was tagged as deflected, and your business can trend on the tickets that were created, but deflected from the day-to-day of your operations. You can also use those deflected tickets to tune your knowledge base. We call this feature AI ticket deflection, and the idea here is we're putting knowledge in front of the end user to help themselves before they actually create a ticket there. Now, the ultimate idea here is that you have two paths for your end users. You have this help menu path, and you can have them use that. You have this AI conversation path, and you can have them use that, or you can use both of them. This is where we're going to stop this part of the setup video. Really hope you enjoyed it. And if you do have any questions, please email team@cyerson.com.